How's it going, guys? Apple here today. Welcome to the 6th episode of learning how to code in C++. Of course, in our last episode, we talked about if, else if, and else statements. If you missed that, go ahead and watch it because it's really useful in the C++ language. But in the 4th episode, we talked about different types of data types like ints and doubles and stuff like that. We're going to be kind of using that, mainly more specifically ints. I'm not going to really cover on doubles, but it really effectively does the same thing with the subject we're going to be talking about. And the subject that we're going to be talking about is arithmetic operators. Now, you might not know what arithmetic operators are, but it's very easy and we all have pretty much learned it unless you're still in 3rd grade. Basically, these are your plus, minus, times, divided by, and finding the remainder of a number that you have divided from. So think of it as your plus sign, minus sign, times sign, divided by sign, and module sign. We're going to go over a brief statement on this. I'm going to be using 2 different numbers and calculating a different form of it. I'm not going to be using sin and taking a input for the computer to actually take that number and for it. I'm just going to be using a simple output system. So what we really need from this project, we need 2 data types, a main, and a way to actually show those types of data types and for the person to actually see. The great thing about IDEs, they're very fast and they could easily do simple mathematics as long as you code it correctly and tell it to correctly do it into a specific way. So what we're going to do is create 2 ints. Let's go ahead and do that. So int num and then underscore 1, and I'm going to actually add a semicolon, int num underscore 2, and then a semicolon. And then what I'm going to do here, we're going to use our first arithmetic operator, and that's our plus sign. So we're going to be using cout since I have using namespace std. By the way, using namespace std is sometimes good and sometimes not. For small projects like this, it is perfect, but for bigger projects, it's really not, especially when you have your code jumbled around everywhere. You kind of want that std space, mainly because it's a lot more better to read and it's a lot more clear. Without it, it's a lot more harder to actually understand. So let's go ahead and put num1, and then we're going to use our plus operator, and then num2 underscore 2, and then a semicolon at the end. Of course, when we execute this program, nothing will happen, mainly because we don't have any numbers. And these numbers are automatically 0. I am pretty sure of that. So let's go ahead and equal this for 5. And I do wonder, I'm pretty sure they are 0 since they don't hold anything. Yes, they are. Since they don't hold anything, num plus 0 is 5, and it executes perfectly. So let's go ahead and do, for our second one, let's say 4. So 5 plus 4 equals 9, of course. And basically, you can think of this as like a type of a calculator. 5 plus 4 equals 9. We use plenty of examples. For example, for the top one, let's go ahead and do it. 84. So 84 plus 4 will be equal to 88, and then we actually execute it. It should give us 88, and there we go. That's basically what a plus operator does. It adds 2 numbers and figure out which one is greater. This is sometimes good for certain types of programs, and sometimes it's really not needed. Let's go with our second operator, minus. Okay, when we minus these 2, it's going to give us 80. Simple as that. We pretty much understand that. 84 minus 4 would equal to 80. Let's go ahead and execute the program and see what happens. It will give us 80. Simple as that. That's what the minus operator does. And minuses 2 numbers and gives us an output of that number. What about times, you might be asking? Do we add an x? Well, no. What we actually do is actually add this little star that later on in math, if you are not in middle school, they'll basically be using a lot. So 84 times 4 will equal to 336. Let's see if we actually get that answer in our terminal. 336, we do get the answer, and simple as that, we're golden. But what about division? Of course, we just add the slash, the standard slash. So let's do 84 divided by 4, and it will equal 21. When we actually execute our program, we should get 21 as the answer. There we go. Now, since this is int, it's not going to get remainders. So let's put this as 3 instead. So 84 divided by 5. Let's do that. 84 divided by 5 is 16.8. So when we execute our program, it's just going to give us 16, mainly because this is ints, and ints only declare for whole numbers. But let's say this. We want to find the remainder of that number. For example, 0.8, since we got it on the calculator, and we can easily tell from looking at these two numbers that there is going to be a remainder. So if you want to get the remainder of the whole number, it is very, very simple. This operator is called a modo, I'm pretty sure, and all it really is just a percent sign. So when we execute our program, we'll get that remainder right there. So I'm pretty sure it should be 12 as the remainder. Oh, 4. Oh yeah, because it's 5. So 4 is our remainder. So basically what it does, it finds the whole number and then it finds the lower. So if I copy and paste this code and switch it to divide, we could actually get two different numbers that are equivalent to each other. Well, I probably should add a slash n. So when we execute our program, we get 16 and 4 as the program would state. And this is very helpful, especially if you want to make a certain number not visible if you're going to be doing a for loop or a while loop, and that's really useful. But pretty much for this video, that's pretty much it for arithmetic operators. It's very simple and very easy to understand. That is why this is going to be a short episode. Simple as that. Again, you can do this with doubles. I'm not going to really be focusing on that, mainly because doubles are very similar to ints. And pretty much if you really need a whole number, but later on you'll actually have some points, you should really just be using ints for that specific number. So if you guys like this video, like it. If you guys actually learned something, good. I am 100% happy with that. As long as you guys learned something, I am okay with that. See you guys in the next episode.